So Alex told me I will say things I've never said before, but it's up to you.
In English.
But it's up to you to draw them out of me, to bring them out of me. So I took the opportunity to create this one-of-a-kind, unseen questions, unspoken answers with Alex Dreyfus.
You do have talented graphics for sure.
Thank you.
That's nice.
It would be a bit bad if I didn't.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to start slow, or do
You
you
see,
want
he
to?
doesn't want me to see the questions. Just to be clear, I haven't seen the question. huh?
Yeah, but you're not going to see them. That's
Yeah.
the point. That's
Yeah.
why it's unseen. Do you want to start with some foreplay, or should we just dive straight in?
Well, I mean, it's what time is it? Yeah, sure, you can go for it.
A bit of foreplay.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
So this was a question I prepared just to get the mood to go, just to get started before I dive in. So
Alright.
maybe you can tell us, Alex, some of the turning points in your journey that, looking back on, you can put a finger on them and say, well, that was a turning point, that was a turning point, and like sort of give us a run through of those moments and what shaped you.
That's a good question. So one of the turning points I like to talk about is when I went bankrupt, when I lost everything, and I was 21 or 22, something like that. So I created my first company when I was 18. It was during the dot-com bubble, so a long time ago. Most of the people except Gigi was actually alive, and created this first wave of the internet companies, super young, successful. I mean, yes and no, because you were the only one, or one of the only one in France, obviously, and went up, went down, and I will always remember this Saturday morning, actually Friday night, when clearly the company was bankrupt, but actually for a company to be bankrupt, you need to accept it. You need to acknowledge it, because otherwise you can keep going. When you are an entrepreneur, it's convenient, it's a French word, so I pronounce it properly. You actually, the goal is to never give up. The whole point of being an entrepreneur is to never give up. And yet, sometimes you have to. You have to say, it's done, I'm over, and you need to move on. And I will always remember my first bankruptcy, where I had to give up on my first baby, my first project, called at that time webcity.com. Webcity, yeah, it was a city guy, like was love in Malta, but
Yeah.
in 37 cities in France. And
And many years before.
25 years ago. 25 years ago.
Sorry.
Anyway, so we were Friday night, decided that I need to go bankrupt. Cried the whole night, literally. I had to cry, you give up on everything, all the money you put in is vanished. It's okay, I'm 22, I don't have a lot of money anyway. And you wake up the Saturday morning, and you know that you acknowledge the fact that you're gonna move on and you're gonna go to the next thing. And for me, I think one of the things I've learned many times, because I went bankrupt a couple of times, or went broke rather than bankrupt, it's to learn how to move on. And that even when you make mistakes, they are not mistakes, they are just part of your journey. And I think for me, at least as an entrepreneur, is this ability to make sure that you never give up. And even though you have to give up something, it's not about giving up, it's just about keep moving on and keep moving forward. That was one of my biggest quote-unquote turning points. From a business perspective, had many companies during the 70 years of work that I've been working for. But the I think one I liked the most is when we signed a football club called Barcelona, big club.
Called Barcelona. We know Barcelona.
No, it's the city next to the sea, and
That's the Barcelona, by the way.
yeah, the FC Barcelona.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is, for me, actually, I don't know if it's one of your questions, but I'm not a football fan at all. I'm not a sports fan. I'm a geek. I'm a tech guy. I love AI, and I'm very lucky because I work in the sports space, even though that's not my world. I mean, I'm lucky enough to be invited in every sports game, and I don't want to go. And all my friends are like, oh, you're invited to World Cup. I don't want to go there. But when we signed Barcelona, which was our kind of biggest prize at that time, was early 2020, January 2020. It was a massive achievement for us as a company, for the team that was involved. And yet, for me as an individual, it was just one team. And then back to back to back, we had 70 other teams eventually. But the turning point for me was the fact that, hey, this is the biggest team we will ever get. Is it the biggest team? Who knows? Maybe it's Real Madrid, Manchester United, Juventus. You choose your cult. But for us, it was Barcelona. And that created so much motivation for the company, for the people in the team, that it accelerated everything, because we were able here from Malta, random guys, to sign the biggest team, or one of the biggest team in the world, and then from there we went to a lot of others.
Amazing. Okay, that brings me to
So that was just the foreplay, right?
That was the foreplay.
Fuck.
But he's good at foreplay, isn't he? Okay, so now my next question. What do you think it is?
Do it slowly, huh? Just go slowly.
Oh, it's coming. What do you think it is that makes you able to have made more money than everyone else in this room combined?
Well, that's probably not true,
probably.
because there is some of guys I bought a boat from, and I'm pretty sure now they have more.
Okay, there's
Except Nikki.
I left out the word probably, but probably. Like what is it that has made you accumulate great wealth over the years? And
well, that's definitely not because I'm a spender, so definitely not that. No, I think it's because I've been very lucky. I had amazing teams. At the end, you need to know where you stand. I'm not a manager. I'm an entrepreneur, whatever that means. It's a bit of bullshit, but it's true. It means that my skill, my personal skill, it's not true for everybody. We all have different skills, but mine is to try to see what's next. And all over my life, since I'm 16, 18, I've created companies that were the next trend, not because it's a trend, but because I believe it's the next thing that's going to happen. So in 1996, that old, created my first internet companies, literally installing modem, and at that time, nobody ever had a modem here that you need to connect to a RTC line or whatever it was called. But it's always to try to be ahead of the game. And by the way, being ahead or being early is actually usually being wrong. When you are too early, you are big time wrong. And I've learned that many times. But it's all a matter of timing. And so I've been very lucky. And luck is an important part of success, by the way. Big part. But I've been very lucky to have the right idea, or some of the right idea at the right time, or being able to sustain that idea long enough to make it. There's this expression, fake it till you make it. And that's nothing to do with sex. But it's very important in business. It is very, very important, because sometimes you need to believe so much that you're going to do it that eventually you're going to deliver. And
I want to just drill deeper into that point, because that's my next question. You said sometimes you have to believe it so much that eventually it happens. So am I able to manifest great wealth? Is everyone able to?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, you should believe in yourself, and it's a motto, and you should have a tattoo about it.
That's what I want to talk about. That belief.
I mean, you can do a tattoo about believe in yourself. That's fine.
I think I have a few. The tattoos.
The tattoo part is important, because every time you look at it, you know that.
I have one saying believe right there.
Well, you see? Well, clearly it doesn't work, because I don't have one.
We don't have, but the question specifically is, can anyone manifest anything they desire into their life?
I mean,
do you believe that?
Yes, I'm not a believer of anything. I'm in many ways, but I do believe in the will of people. I'm a believer that as long as you want and you can do it, you can deliver. You can try at least. I think what's the most important as an entrepreneur is to try to make it. Most of the time, you're not gonna make it. But that's fine. That's part of the game. And I think 99% of the things you're going to do every day, they're always going to fail. And that's the exciting part of it, because you just accept that and you move on. But the part of believing in it and never give up is, for me, the most important part. Yes.
So you just so casually say that 99% of what you do is probably going to fail.
Yes, every single day. I mean, you cannot... Whoever says that he has been successful and always has been successful is a liar. And I think I am where I am, at least. I'm not going to talk about anybody else, but I am where I am because I failed so many times. So by literally, actually, let's go deep a little bit in that. Today, our company is, the concept of the company is Chili's and Socios, socios.com. We are giving a voice to the fans of football teams that wants to have a say to the teams that they are supporting. Cool. Well, the original idea is absolutely not that. The original idea was, I was in the poker industry, poker business, and we created a poker league called Global Poker League. Great, I'm creating a sports. We actually had a trademark called We Sportify Poker. So we wanted to sportify poker, make a sports out of poker, sports out of poker. Great. Raised $4 million, created a league, had 12 teams, the Paris Aviators, the Las Vegas Moneymakers, the London's Royals, etc., etc. 12 franchise inspired from the NBA, the NFL, UFC, and all that stuff. Cool. We do that league. We run a season. Well, we barely run a season because we run out of cash before the end of the season. But we run a season, and at the end of that year, we are okay. I own a sport that kind of nobody cares. How can we try to monetize that? So we try to brainstorm. We are 2016, early 17. How can we monetize the small audience that we have? We have an audience. We have an IP. We own something. Let's try to monetize that. So we realized that maybe if we give a voice to the fans that are looking at us, they will be interested to pay to actually be part of it. Because we own the teams, we can give a percentage, an equity, or an exposure to the poker teams that we own. The more we thought about that, the more we realized that it's an amazing idea, but it's the wrong sport. So the more we realized that the idea may be good, but we are doing it wrong. So we started to think that maybe we should do that for someone else. And that's actually how we literally pivoted from being a poker company to a sports/tech company, or crypto, where instead of giving a voice to our poker fans of the team that I own, or we own as a company, we decided to become a service provider. It's not exactly true, but a service provider to the sports industry. And the point here is we failed for 2 years doing something that eventually made me or made us where we are today. So failure is not a failure. It's just part of your journey.
And there's a fine... No, that's... By the way, big up. I think the fear of failure really holds a lot of well, I can't say a lot of us. I can't speak for you, but I think it holds a lot of people back. And the way you speak about failing...
failing is cool.
It's cool, man. It's almost a battle scar. So I'll circle back to the question where we're going to give everybody a little challenge. But before that, I just wanted to talk about this fine line between being a genius and being batshit crazy, right?
It's actually, it's funny you say that. When I was 20 or 21, I remember reading a book. Well, actually, I don't read books, so I was reading the news. And it's true, I don't read book at all. It's very bad. But I read a lot of news because I believe that it's what helps me as an individual to know what's going to be the future. I remember reading something that I always kept, and it's a wrong translation. It's probably not exactly the right message. But the line between someone who succeeded and someone who failed is super thin. And sometimes it's just luck. You know, I mean, literally, the company, the company that I have right now is the same company, the same Maltese company that started with this poker business. And somehow we had the luck, a lot of work, and a bit of time where we managed to pivot. But the same company who technically has failed miserably, and we managed collectively, it's not just me, managed collectively to make it successful. Yeah. But sometimes it's just one thing, turning point maybe, that will make you seem as successful what you actually as dumb as you were a week before. You just became successful because something happened. And sometimes it's not even you. You know, like in the US, so I work in the crypto space, obviously. I mean, the company works in the crypto space. And in 2021, we invested a lot of money in the US, like a lot of money, thousands of millions of dollars that we were lucky enough to have generated previously, but we invested that. Because why? I'm a big FOMOer. When I believe in something, I'm going big time. And I didn't want to have any competition. So we killed everything with a stupid amount of money, in a way that there was some competitors that were way richer than us, and we overbid them. We won them different ways, and we are in early 22. We signed 27 NBA teams, 13 NFL teams, etc., etc. Great, American dream. Well, not really, because eventually in November 2022, there is FTX, big crypto exchanges that crashed. We didn't have any money there, but it changed the whole narrative and the whole politics in the US about crypto. So all the money we poured, and it was like $80 million, we pulled in the US. We lost it. Lost it because there is no fucking way we can launch anything in the US in the next 1 or 2 years. Is it a genius move or a bad move? Well, right now it's pretty much a bad move because we lost a lot of money. But the thing is, there is a single event, Trump winning in the US, which now suddenly all the investment that we've done for the last 2 years, which clearly were lost, well, now there is a little bit of hope that maybe we're going to be able to call back the guys, say, hey, you enjoyed our money, you want maybe more? Well, we don't have any more money, so maybe you're going to enjoy your friendship, and maybe we're going to try to build something there in the US. So my point is there are some third-party elements that are completely random, has nothing to do with me, us, anybody, and sometimes which will change the fate of your company.
And sometimes that's all there is in that fine line.
Yeah, no, but the fine line is, yeah.
And what drives you to stay motivated?
That's actually a flaw rather than something good. I'm never satisfied, and don't go there. I'm talking about business. It's just that, like the Barcelona deal, super excited. I'm pumped and hyped because we're gonna sign that deal. We're gonna have to fight, and I want to make it happen. But the day it's signed, like the minute it's signed, the question is, what's next? Which one is the next one? And it's actually it's great because it gives company always motivation to, to drive, to be driven or to go up or whatever. But sometimes I know, and I should say that to my therapist that I don't have, maybe if you want to tell me.
I'm not a therapist.
I do like a little bit like one.
I'm interviewing you.
So, let me lay down here. Let's but it's a bit of an issue to actually never be satisfied from your own achievement.
Insatiable.
Yeah, but it's a problem. It's good. I mean, I'm young-ish, so it's still fine.
Yeah.
But it is an issue because I think you should actually, and that will be one of the advice that I don't take for myself, but I will still give to others, is try to be satisfied by whatever achievement you've done, because otherwise you lose your hair. It's as simple.
And you just keep on chasing that next
No, look, it's much nicer when you have Gigi's hair. Like
he does have fantastic hair.
I don't know. I have a Turkish friend.
So, I got 2 more. You probably have a few Turkish football clubs.
Well, actually, Turkey is our biggest market, but not for that reason.
No, obviously not.
No.
Okay, so quick game. You've lost it all, right? Not like you just don't have it. No
again?
Money, again. It's a new one. But you've got no money, no contacts, no one to call in favors from. You've lost it all except your mind. What's your quickest route to become a millionaire, and how would you do it?
Please never think about. First of all,
but that's a good answer.
Yeah, please never think about making money. And it's easy when you have. So it's easy for me to say that now. But money should never be a goal, only a reward. If your goal is to make money, you will most likely fail, except if you're a salesman and you're trying to sell boats. Clearly, you're working very well. But other than that, when you want to build, when you're a builder, which is what I consider myself, you should never think about money. What was the question?
So if you got no cash, no contacts, what would you do?
What I will do as the next business, or why should I do to start from scratch?
Well, the quiz was how do you make €1 million as quickly as possible. But if you don't
never,
care, then don't answer it. That's a cool answer.
I will never care.
So how do you measure your own success? What does success mean to you?
Well, as long as you can pay the salaries for the employees every month, that's the success.
But deeper than that.
Like something like deeper.
What's success to you? Are you kind to yourself? Are you hard on yourself? Don't
No,
go
I'm very
there.
kind.
You can't-
No, I mean, come on, I have a happy life, everything I need, so I'm healthy, which is at the end the most important, obviously. What, I don't know, if I had to start from scratch again, but that's the thing. There is one guy, so when I was broke, literally, so 2002, my company, it's like few weeks before going bankrupt. I go to this guy, super rich guy, super famous in my home city in Lyon. And of course, I try to charm him, saying like, how, my business, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. I need your experience. I need your guidance. Please guide me. I want your money, but still guide me. And the guy give me the perfect answer to someone who doesn't want to give you money. Clearly, this is unbeatable. And he quote Confucius, whatever is his name, Chinese guy. And he said, experience is a light that show you the past. Something like that. And more or less his point was, whatever I'm going to tell you doesn't matter anyway, because your journey is your journey, so mine is mine, and go fuck yourself. So I was like, great, thank you, man. So not only you tell me you cannot help me, but also you're not even going to give me money. So eventually I went bankrupt. Not because of him, it was my own fault, to be fair. But the point here is, whatever I'm gonna say today is irrelevant to you. So I can just give you my story, my journey, but eventually everybody is different, and everyone that will want to start from scratch will have a completely different journey, just because of culture, because of DNA, because of passion. I'm passionate about computer, not sports, nothing else. I'm a geek, I love my computer. And when a bit as a revenge from the geek, some of us are geek here, I guess Gigi is a geek, but the geek are the one running the world, clearly. Just to be clear, they are the one running the world, and they are the one who's gonna run the world even more. And so when I was young, I was playing video games and I was on my computer, not drinking alcohol, not going out, and here I am today. So my point is, even if your kid, and I say that because I have a 6-year-old kid that is always on his iPad, it's bad, I'm a bad parent, but hopefully he will develop something out of this. He will not be the best one reading books and writing with his hands, because of course he's late on that, but at least he will know how to play Fortnite. So who knows, maybe we'll do a team of Fortnite, and I will retire out of this.
Who knows, eh?
Who knows? I hope not.
All right, well, that rules out my next 3 questions about how to help everyone get rich quick, and the blueprint to unlocking the future. Okay, so let's wrap it up with you've declared one of your superpowers being able to see ahead and be building things for the future. What's the next big thing that's keeping you excited, and what's your projection for the next 5-10 years?
It will not be mine because interestingly, I don't know if it's interesting, but as an entrepreneur, I like to be committed and focus only in one thing. So it means that as a business, for example, I barely invest in any company. So don't try to come to sell me your shit. I'm not going to invest. But not because of you, it's because of me. Why? Because I'm investing only in my own stuff, which is very bad in terms of diversification, and that's why I usually go broke once every 10, 12 years. But it's okay, because at least I'm committed in what I'm doing.
I love that.
But it's interesting because in crypto, there is a lot of quick scheme money making stuff in crypto, obviously, unfortunately. Many times I got offered what we call free tokens or advisor token or whatever. It will be the same as the stock options, let's say, but in a crypto way. For free. Hey, can I get your name and I'll give you that? You will probably make $1 million out of it. And you know what? $1 million is a lot of money, obviously. But I rather say no for 2 reasons. One, because I'm committed to my own clients. My clients, in my particular case, are token holders. So it's a bit of a weird thing, but it's a very unique relationship you have with your own token holders and your own clients in a way. So I want to be exclusive to them, and I don't want to diversify myself and have some of my time allocated to something else. That's number one. Number two, what was number two? Number two, or why I don't invest somewhere else? Yeah, no, just because I invest only in my own stuff, which is very selfish. But at least, yeah, I rather fail bigly or succeed bigly as well.
Seems to be working.
No, every 15 years.
Every 15 years you go bust, and that's
but
cool.
I thought you asked me a second question. There was a second point.
I want to ask you one more question. What's a question you always wish someone asked you in an interview that they never did?
That's funny. So before I answer that, and I will forget this question anyway, the thing, the future of whatever is the future, at least for me, so that was going to be my point. So again, I'm focusing on what we're doing, and we're going to evolve in what we're doing, period. Now, what is the future is definitely AI, to the point of GG, and I'm going to give you one personal example. My kid's 6 years old. Last year, summer, as a parent, what did I do? I used ChatGPT to do bedtime stories. So, hi, ChatGPT, can you do a story for Elliot, 6 years old? We are on a volcano today because we're in Sicily. Can you tell him he went up the volcano, blah, blah, blah. It gives you the script. If you're a good parent, you read it. I'm a bad parent, so I let the ChatGPT talk with a nice voice to say the stuff. And so you put the phone, you put that on the next to the bed of the kid, and that's it.
Oh, did you listen to it first, or did you go straight?
No, I trust the technology too much. But the thing is, what we don't realize and what you don't realize, except a couple of people in the room, is in the next 3 to 5 years, our kids will have teddy bears that actually are going to talk instead of us, and they will know so much more than me. I mean, every day your kid is asking you, hey, daddy, why the sun is yellow? Ah, fuck. How are you going to explain that? Well, ChatGPT, well, why the sun is yellow? Oh, you know, because there is this gas, and this gas is making this. So AI is going to give so much knowledge, and it's going to actually make knowledge equally available to anyone on Earth. And that actually was the first question I asked someone smart a few months ago in New York. I asked, hey, with AI, are we all going to lose our job? Are we all going to lose knowledge? No, it's actually the other way around. If you embrace it, to the point of it a little bit of earlier, you should never be afraid of technology. You should embrace it. Yes, of course, you're going to be scared because it's going to replace your daily routine and whatever you're doing. Yes, sure, 100%. So did the internet, the phone, and everything else. And AI is going to scale that in a 10 times, a million times bigger, or a iota times bigger. But the thing is, our kids and the next generation of kids, they're never going to have a VHS tape. They're never going to have a Walkman or Sony Walkman or Discman. That was much better. But they're going to have access to knowledge on an instant basis. So we need to educate them to actually work with that knowledge. And then their edge will not to know. It will be how to use the technology or how to use the AI or how to use that thing. And so ironically, most of us are going to lose our job, lawyers, clerk, probably like a lot of things going to disappear, but restaurant never going to change, cleaners never going to change, so everything that is actually very manual is going to be probably improved, but it's actually the job that today we look at in a bad way, if I may, that are actually going to be the job that's going to be the most needed in the next 20 years. But my point on this is, if I had to invest somewhere, I would invest in AI or in a restaurant. Mike, you have a restaurant? I think Mike is investing in a restaurant.
That's very good. Right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Unseen questions, unspoken answers. Thank you very much, man. That was awesome.
Thank you.